Hello there and welcome to the video where today I'll be talking about how to compose a photo. It's been a decade-long question. As long as there has been a DSLR camera or camera in general, there has been a question that how do you compose a photo? What to keep in the frame and what not to keep in the frame. So today I'll talk about that. But before I dive deep into the abyss, I'd like you to subscribe so that you can get all the latest info about photography and all the tips and tricks that you need to be a landscape photographer. So today I'll be talking about three things. Now first, that will be the rule of third, the well known. Second one will be the golden ratio, and the third one will be leading line. So let's start with the rule of third. What is rule of third? Rule of third, when you see a photo, if you divide that photo into 9 same sized rectangles, or if you create a grid 2 by 2 in a photo, you will see that there are 4 intersections where 2 of the lines cross. So when you see that intersection, what you need to do is you need to find your subject of the photo and you need to keep that subject in any of those intersections. That means you will be getting an intersection on top left, top right and bottom right. So what you need to do is find your subject, what you want to show to the audience, and you to keep that subject in that intersection point. I'll be giving you some example so that you can understand that better.
So for an example of rule of third, I have chosen this picture. Now I am in Adobe Lightroom, and if I turn on the crop, then this grid, what you can see here, is called the rule of third. That means if you take a picture and you divide it in 9 rectangles, same size rectangles, then you will be getting a grid of 3 by 3. And in that 3 by 3 grid, you will have 4 intersections where the lines cross. So what you need to do is keep the subject of your photo in any of those intersections, and the interesting part, whether it is the foreground or the background or the sky, if it is interesting, then give 2/3 of the space of the photo, and if it is not interesting, then just give it 1/3. Like here in this photo, if you can see, the sky is not that much interesting. So what I did, I gave it 1/3 of the photo just above this line, and if I just place this log, which I kept as a subject, on the intersection, now if I just crop it out, you will see the photo is looking much more compact than before. So this is what the rule of third means. For a different example, if you see that I have kept the sky, which is boring in compared to the foreground, I have kept the sky on 1/3 and I have kept the ocean and the beach on 2/3 of the photo. Now I can stretch it out a little bit, and if I do it, you will see that the photo is looking much better. So if I crop it out like this, it looks better. So this is all about the rule of third.
Now we will be talking about golden ratio. It is believed that in nature, whatever you see, the architecture like flowers or clouds or anything that nature has to offer, that follows a basic rule of designing, which is the golden ratio. Golden ratio is a very complicated thing. Sometimes you will be able to find a pattern, sometimes you won't. So what you need to do is check out your subject and see if you have any spiraling lines around that subject which the viewer can follow. Like if you have a subject on dead center, like you can take a photo of a setting sun. So you take that sun and you point that to the dead center of that golden spiral, and then if you follow along a line like this, you can see whatever there is in the photo, that will be following the line. And what it says, that the person who sees the photo, he actually starts from the dead center and he follows that line along your photo. So that is what golden ratio is for you. Now there has been a new thing where the golden ratio has been simplified. I'll be showing you a simplified version of golden ratio as well, where the golden ratio or the spiral has been expressed by almost the same looking like the rule of third. So you will be able to see how golden ratio is simplified. If you use that, you will be able to get the result of golden ratio as well.
Now for the example of golden ratio, I am again in the Adobe Lightroom, and if I turn on the crop, and if I just toggle the switch O or the key O, then I can toggle between different crop styles. Now if I toggle like this spiral, what you can see here is actually the golden ratio. So, and if you want to toggle the direction of the ratio, all you have to press is Shift O. As you can see, it is changing. So let's see, I want to keep it somewhat like this. So if I keep the sun at the center of this ratio, now the photo looks much better in terms of what it was looking like before. So this can be a good example of the golden ratio. For a different example like this one, if I turn on the golden ratio and if I change the orientation, what you can find is something like this. If I just turn off the crop, it was like this before, and what I did was just point this house over here to the center, and now I hit OK. You'll see that the viewer will start seeing the photo from the house and then follow along the line of this road, where at the end you have a different mountain. So this is another example of golden ratio. Now you can also use the golden ratio simplified, which almost looks like the rule of third, which is this. If I take this photo for an example, and if I turn on the golden ratio, it was looking like this before. So it was looking like this, and now if I turn on the golden ratio here and toggle, and if I keep the boat's mouth at the center of the spiral and just trim the photo down so that the spiral follows along the line of mountain, and if I hit OK, now you'll see the photo looks much compact.
Now for the third and final, we'll be talking about the leading line. Like suppose you are taking a photo of lane which goes straight towards the horizon, and at the horizon there is a sun. So what it's believed that lane is a leading line straight towards the sun. So it is believed the person who will be seeing your photo, he will follow along the line, he will reach to the end, which is your sun. Now keep in mind where it has been seen that if you take a leading line photo and there is no payoff at the end, if you take a lane, that lane goes to the horizon, and in horizon there is nothing to show. So what is your line leading to? You need to keep that in mind also when you are taking a photo which has leading lines, that there must be a payoff at the end of that leading line. The person who will be seeing your photo, he will start from the beginning of that leading line, he will go along that leading line, and why he is going along that leading line? Because he wants to see something at the end of that line. So if that thing is missing, then there is no payoff for that leading line, and the photo, it may look good but it will be incomplete. So what you want to do is, suppose you have gone to a hill station where you can see a large mountain and it is snow clad and there is just a sunrise and the orange light is going to the top of that mountain. So you need to click that. But if you can find something like edge of another mountain or just a meadowy road, meadowy street that is going just on the direction to that mountain, so you need to capture that so that your viewer can start from the beginning of that road and follow along that road, and at the end he has a payoff, he or she has a payoff, which is that snow-clad mountain where the sun's light is getting reflected. So I'll be showing you some of the example of leading light so that you can understand better.
Now if we talk about leading line is something which your viewer follows through in the image, and at the end there is something where the line leads. So if you can see in this image, the leading line is the stream. The viewer of the image will start from the beginning of the stream and he will follow along this line, and at the end of the line he will have a snow-clad mountain, which is the payoff of that leading line. So now one thing you have to keep in mind, that if you take a photo which has a leading line but at the end of the leading line there is nothing, like the line is leading into nowhere, there is no payoff, in that case the photo might look good, but it will be incomplete. For an example, this photo. Here I have a leading line, this stony path, but at the end of this path there is nothing for the viewer to see. So it doesn't have a payoff to that leading line. So the photo may look good, but it is not that good. Because if I had something at the end of that leading line, a payoff, it would have been much better. I have this leading line where this path in between these two colored tulips. At the end of the path, I have the mountain for the payoff. So for the example of leading line, this image can be good where this is a leading line. Your viewer will start from the beginning of the leading line and he will follow along that line, and at the end he will see this mountain, which is the payoff of this line. So this is a good example of leading line as well.
Now, for the final thing, I'd like to tell you that these leading lines or the rule of third or like anything for that matter which has been told as a rule per se for photography, you need to understand that there is no rule of photography. You can click anything you want. There is no rule at all. Now these are guidelines, so you can follow them, or if you don't want to follow it, you don't have to follow them. Like if you have a subject which is dead on center, but if you take the photo and it looks massively beautiful, you can take that. You don't need to just apply a rule of third or golden ratio on that. It will make it look bad. So what you need to do is look at the frame that you want to capture, look at it, understand how you want to place your subject, then take a photo. But yeah, it has been seen that 70% of the photo that has been taken following along the rule, they come up better apart from the rest. So if you follow the rule properly, I'm sure your results will be much better than before. So you need to, if you want to follow them, it's good. If you don't want to follow them, it's also good. But what you need to know is what is your subject of the photo, that you have to understand, and you have to place that subject according to how you want to click that photo. It has been seen many times that you will be going anywhere, like you will be seeing a very good landscape, and you'll just take out your camera and take photo, and then you come back home, and when you look at the photo, you will be seeing that the photo that has turned out, that is not that much good what you have all expected it would have been. So what you need to do is, if you see a landscape, find a subject what you want to show your viewer in that photo, then take multiple shots. Sometimes follow the rule of third, sometimes keep the subject dead on center, sometimes you can also use the golden ratio if you can. Apart from that, if you have a leading line, like anything, any line, any like stretch of road, anything if you can find, you use that as well. Now when you come back home, you post process, then you can better select whether which kind of placement of the subject was right. So that will be all for today. If it helps you in any way, subscribe once again and like and share.